Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and my pronouns are he, him, and I am joined by some very good people and very good friends. First, let me introduce Jamie Lee-Bonés plus special extra guest star.
Hello, it is Mama Bonés, she, her, and I have Baby Bonés with me tonight for our recording. I play Ello, they, them, the modified medical droid / mercenary. Hello.
And what is Evelyn going to be playing?
We decided on Wookiee. Wookiee? Cookie.
Excellent. Friend to all Wookiees and a friend to everyone in the galaxy, please welcome Alex Herrera.
Hello, I'm Alex. I play Beegax, the Doug Slicer. We are both he, him. No little Wookiees, Ewoks over here, besides injured Oreo.
Yeah, just a little furry friend all bound up.
She's always ripping her own wound open because that's what animals do.
It tastes so good, though. The stuff inside animals is good tasting, and they know it.
I don't think it helps that a cat's tongue is like sandpaper too, so it's like
right?
Very easy for her to accomplish her goal of destroying her foot repeatedly.
Well, there must be a reason she wants to do that. So
She's a very intelligent creature, highest order of intelligence.
Is the intelligent the word we're looking for?
It's not. Not even close.
Well, intelligent does describe the next person, and that is Susan Spenader.
Hi. Thank you for the compliment. I love that. I mean, that's going to be my mantra for the rest of the week. Anywho, I am Susan. I'll be playing Xelora, the Twi'lek pilot smuggler. We both go by she, her. Also, no little Wookiees or Ewoks over here. I was trying to see if I had a dog here, but they abandoned me. So
yeah, you're usually accompanied by a whole
entourage of dogs.
Entourage, yes, of little furry friends.
They've abandoned me. So
maybe it's the Thursday vibes. That's continuing.
Yeah, I'm too chill for them. Maybe they like my emotional support pups. So they know I'm full of anxiety on weekends and Fridays, but Thursday I'm too chill. They're like, Mom doesn't need us. We're going to go to bed early.
We're out.
We're not on duty.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Well, hopefully we can continue these chill vibes into the most unchillest place in the Star Wars galaxy. But we'll get to that. Why don't we play some Star Wars? What do you say?
Let's go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 63, Pursuit. Awakening amongst the wreckage of a train, the fearless fringers found themselves crash-landed in the scraplands of Ord Mantell. But they weren't the only life forms crawling around in the piles of junk, and while trying to lead the injured passengers back to the city, a group of inhabitants called the Scrappers attacked. Ello, Beegax, and Xelora held off the assault, but not without losing a few of the injured citizens. Things were looking dire as they retreated back to the wreckage of the train, but the tides were turned when they ran into a familiar face.
Before we get to it, let's roll the destiny roll. Before you even ask, no.
Yep.
I forgot to do the Wills of the Forest polls, but don't worry. I get you next time, Wills. I got you next time.
You didn't forget. It was a weekday. You didn't think anybody would participate.
Yeah, we usually don't record on a Thursday, so it kind of threw me off a little bit. Yeah, kind of threw me off.
I rolled already.
What'd you get?
1 light side. Also, if you forgot, I think that's an error on your part, and we should be rewarded for your failure.
Why would that possibly would that work out like that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get that free unconvertible light
Just- yeah, that's just that one extra
That
bump.
one unconvertible.
Extra hit.
Yeah.
Well, first one's free.
Damn.
The next one you got to pay for. Speaking of paying for it, Susan, what'd you get?
I got one dark side.
One dark side. The well has run dry.
I know these
finally.
dice are turning against me, guys. I gotta find a new dice roller.
It's gonna be another 3 sessions of like bad dice.
Yeah, I know. I had very amazing rolls, so
yeah,
I'm not.
it's about time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I rolled 2 light side.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's a pretty good pool. And tip well in your favor. We got 3 light side points and 1 dark side point. Very good. Very cool. Last we left off, we were in the scraplands on the planet Ord Mantell, just outside of the city of Woolport. This is a dumping ground, essentially, an industrial dumping ground for not only the trash and sort of scrap of the city and the planet, but from off-world too. So there's all kinds of stuff like piled up everywhere, making all kinds of these like weird, bizarre structures that are made out of junk and detritus. And on top of all of that, newly added to this addition is this destroyed train that is just crashed off of rails up above that lead back into the city. Just sort of like splayed out onto the ground. And our fearless fringers have just survived an attack from a couple of life forms called the Scrappers. They managed to make it out alive, and they ran into an old friend. And that friend is R4TT, or commonly known as a rat. And it looks like he's gone full Mad Max mode. He's got buzzsaws sticking out of his shoulder pads. He's got spikes drilled into him, sticking out everywhere, bits of padding and leather. And he's accompanied by some other droids that are like put together with different parts and like, you know, tape and spit and glue, and they're just kind of like barely hanging together, but they were able to repel these scrappers. There is also a familiar protocol droid as well, who is standing there, walks up beside Rat and looks at Elo and says, "Oh, hello. I believe we've met before."
Okay, well, seeing that we are assumedly safe, Elo is going to look first at Rat and then at this protocol droid and say, "You know, Rat, we were looking for you, and I'm glad to see you made it, sir."
He beeps at you, and the protocol droid goes, "He says he highly doubts you were looking for him."
No, we're telling the truth.
What else would bring us out to the scraplands, bud?
R4 turns around and like looks up at the train and beeps. "He says you're enormous bad luck. Probably." "I don't believe we were introduced last time. I'm sorry for being so rude. I was attacked and then bodied by a Mantilian Savrip last we spoke. My name is Defect. A pleasure."
I love that. Well, it's nice to meet you. What exactly is this? Gesturing to sort of the group and Rat's new Mad Maxian style.
"We are worthless.
Do we know what that is?
I don't remember.
I think you did, because he said he was worthless before, and then you were. Alex and I haven't heard it, but you have, and
Okay.
it was like that's what the droids in the Scraplands call themselves.
Oh, that's a group.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, through context clues,
Okay.
that's exactly what it is. We're worthless. And what are you doing out in the Scraplands?
Well, we were trying to save this one, pointing at Rat, but it doesn't seem like you needed much saving.
He beeps. He states that he is always good.
Okay. Sure, buddy. Whatever you say.
He says you're looking worse than usual.
I mean, I just almost got my skull caved in by those long-armed, long-legged, tall guys and their buddies. So, all considering, I think I look pretty good, but Rat's he's got kind of a bias against me and I him. Let's not sugarcoat it. You look, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You look great, Rat. I like the whole getup. The blades are a nice touch.
He says he knows. He always looks great.
Fucking love Rat.
I suppose we ought to get you back to the worthless, regardless of what it is you're doing out here. Being in the Scraplands at night, and especially being organics, is not good.
You guys got like a hotel or something? Where do you guys live at? I mean, I'm assuming not a hotel, obviously.
Something?
Not being facetious. I'm being facetious. You live somewhere different than this?
And he points to, like, the mountains of scrap around them.
It may be best to get you there first, and then we can assess what you need to survive.
Yeah, let's do that.
Beegax tries to walk and then realizes he's disoriented because I'm still disoriented. Critical wound. So he starts to walk and he just does like a drunk person stumble. He's like, Criff! Falls down in some trash and he looks at whoever's nearby. It was Xelora.
Please, Xelora, please. Help.
Xelora, who is also critically injured but not disoriented,
I was gonna say.
will grab you by under your front arm. I know you're all legs, and under the armpit area, and help stabilize you and be like, oh God, hopefully it's close.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, you might want to watch out when you're reaching around. Be careful. I don't wear pants all the time. So just be very careful.
Immediately pull back and then you probably start to fall to one side again.
Wow.
And then she'll be like, oh, okay.
Up here. The leg, the arms, up here. This part. And he touches this part right here.
And she'll gingerly put her hand there.
That works. Thank you.
Yeah. God. This sucks.
R4 does beep at you what were you doing out here? What happened?
Ella was right. We came to look for you. We were on our way to... Well, first we were on our way to finish up some business and then come find you and then go home. Or not go home, but, you know what I mean, get out of here. And,
I'll look at Xelora.
we had some difficulties. We had some issues pop up during the exchange, during a meeting. Actually, we didn't even get to the meeting from what I understand, right? That train thing, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, we were betrayed. And that's how the train fell off the tracks. And she points up towards the train.
If anyone asks, it wasn't our fault. We didn't do that. That was all the
And then he
Black
has
Sun.
he has a flash. He remembers.
Oh, yeah, the Black Sun.
Did anyone else survive?
Yeah, there are other survivors. Among them is, there's a handful of life forms here, all organic, and there is a Iridonian Zabraki child as well.
Oh yeah,
The one I manifested.
the one kid.
Yeah.
Yay!
R4 beeps, "1 day without me and look what happens." And he sort of like gives a binary chuckle.
1100. No, Beegax doesn't like that. He just,
This was completely coincidental. Nothing to do with your absence. As a matter of fact, when you disappeared, we won the race. So, how do you explain that?
We?
I mean, you won the race. Zalora won the race. I mean, look. Two out of the top
Zalora
three-
won the race.
2 out of the top 3 spots were won by people in this particular vicinity, this group. I think that's a we win, right?
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, the royal we, I guess. But the real winner was Xelora, yes.
R4 just says, "Oh, I wasn't conscious for that because I was abandoned during a fight."
Hey, bring it up with your partner.
and he looks at LO as he says that.
I mean, we each had a job, a responsibility, so I don't know. Maybe you were slipping on yours, because I know LO never left me behind. That's all I'm saying.
Look, Rat, we were... it was a tense situation we had to get out of. We were coming back to get you, like, immediately. But then you were just gone, buddy. Like, it all happened very quickly.
I'm surprised we were able to locate you. I thought you'd been scrapped.
Yeah, we're about to get a catalog for new astromech droids, actually, just because we thought you were turned into, like, speeder bike parts. At best.
R4 says you could never afford it. You can barely afford him.
I'm not paying them.
Beegax says as he laughs, and he's like, "Oh God!" And he grabs like his collarbone. And he's like, "Oh."
As Laura's gonna look to the group, not Rat, but to the Beegax and Ello and Gur, and be like, "You guys really know how to keep a party together." And then she looks to Rat, "Hey, we need you to fly this ship. You are necessary. While this group won't apparently give you any credit, the ship won't fly without you."
Beegax looks hurt.
Come on, don't give the little guy too much credit. Come on, you gotta
Finally, the respect I deserve, he beeps.
you gotta keep him down. You can't let him get too full of himself. You don't understand. You weren't there. You didn't meet him the first time.
R4 says you should be taking notes.
You know what? If I wasn't sorry in it, I would in a heartbeat. But
Laura stops holding you.
no, please.
Just dirt, just metal and dirt. Oh, it's like when you get Legos embedded in your skin for too long. He gets like a bunch of metal and dirt embedded in his face.
Come on.
Are we gonna be nicer?
Yes.
Okay, so Laura helps him stand up again.
Oh, just junk falling off of him. Oh, old noodle, like some noodle cup lost it. He's like, he just sees
down.
it. He sees it. Oh, wow.
We got any of those?
Yeah, the first thing he thinks too. Hopefully these robots have noodles, and he realizes they don't need it.
Well, R4 says that although it wasn't very Gucci of you to leave him, it's kind of water under the bridge because he did in fact have one of the best nights that he's had in a very long time.
Oh, interesting. Was that because of your new hosts, or because of the amenities here on Ord Mantell?
Or the lack of Beegax.
R4 just beeps, yes.
That tracks.
The rest of the droids have their blasters out and they're sort of like surveying the, just kind of like making sure everything's safe, but they all start to sort of like hustle you away from the train wreckage. Defect is in fact, sort of like, well, we should be going now. Ha 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 ha. No good standing around.
Yeah, lead the way.
And yeah, he leads you like through these, it's sort of like traveling like paths and roads through these like hills of junk, and we're doing like screen wipes, and it's night now. Finally, there are like trash fires and broken containers with glowing radioactive pools that illuminate the scraplands here. You're like walking under structures and architecture that's made out of like haphazard, collapsed pieces of ships and stuff like that. All the while, you still feel like you're being watched. And if you look up at the tops of some of these hills and stuff, you can see like glowing eyes. You can hear like that weird whispering, that weird like digital language. And Defect is like, "Oh, we better pick up the pace. Come on, let's go."
I'll try. I'll look at Xelora. Don't run too fast, because I will fall.
Can I give you a piggyback ride?
It's not very becoming of a dog to accept piggyback rides, but I'm not one for tradition, so I'm okay with it if you are okay with it.
And then she squats down for you to get on her back.
Okay. Like I said before, I don't wear pants. This is gonna be a little weird.
Just stop bringing it up and it won't be weird.
I'm giving you a warning.
It wouldn't be weird if you stopped mentioning it.
All right. This is also very uncomfortable for me too, because I'm not used to having my bottom feet not touch the ground.
And R4 says, "And you're not wearing pants."
Oh, stop bringing it up.
Xelora like does that thing where she grits her teeth and like pulls her head to the side, and then internally saying, "I don't hear this. I am somewhere else."
I don't think Beegax thinking the same thing to himself. I don't.
Yeah, like I want. This is nothing. Like this is just like getting a piggyback ride. There is nothing going on here.
Nothing. This is normal. Everything is fine.
Nothing's weird.
Except when we move, it's like not only that, but when we move, like it's like when you're dizzy, the world is kind of like tilted on an axis. But now that he's on your back and you're moving a little quicker, the axis is shifting a little bit. Like it's like moving from like teetering left to right and then kind of going on like the Z-axis, if that's possible from his point of view. He's like, "Oh my god, like this what is happening?" It's like a new level of dizziness that he has not experienced.
And as you like get on each other's backs and try and make your way, like it's very clear that these scrappers are following you. It's hard to tell how many of them, because they're like popping in and out of places and you can hear them, but you can't always see them. And when you see them, you can't always hear them. And you have other injured people with you, or other injured beings with you. The droids, for the most part, are trying to like keep a perimeter, but even them, they're like it looks like they're on their last legs as well, bandaged up and like duct taped together. And even with you moving quickly, there seems to be the sound of scrappers coming down the hills, and then they're all coming at once, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Again? I'm disoriented.
Oh shit! They are relentless.
They are relentless.
Hello, fringers, spacers, my scum and villainy. I just wanted to update you real quick that we'll be taking a short break from our Star Wars story to bring you Ghosts of Greyhill, a D&D fantasy one-shot about the lands of Greyhill, where a mysterious affliction haunts a struggling settlement, and the lives of 3 eager heroes will be altered forever by fate and destiny. This one-shot is written and run by Jamie and involves choices about the story, our characters, and even the landscape that will be influenced by randomization, chance, and fate. It's not a long break, and we'll be back to the Star Wars campaign real soon. We'll start it off with the Session 0, which will be our next released episode coming out. You'll get a chance to see how we made our characters, some of the ways in which randomization is going to help shape the story, and how it's going to start coming together. And then we'll start getting into the campaign proper, and let me tell you, we just recorded a session of it, and it was so much fun. We had an absolute blast playing these new characters and exploring the new setting, and Jamie absolutely slays as a dungeon master. I think you are going to have a great time listening to it. So look out for that in the coming weeks, and as always, thank you for listening and for your feedback. And now, let's get back to the story.
I got 2 success, 1 advantage.
Nice.
Susan.
I got 4 successes.
What?
Oh, nice.
Oh, this is not. We're not in pod racers. We are in our physical forms right now. You can't begin.
That's what I got. I got like 2 dice with 2 advantages on them.
Look, you can't be
Or
fast.
I mean, not 2 successes. I'm so
You can't
sorry.
be fast on your feet and in a machine. That's just not fair.
Hey, I'm trying to save your life, Alex.
That's true.
That's
you're
why
right.
I
Never
got
mind.
so
no,
much.
you're right. You're right. We're fast. We're as fast as we need to be. That's exactly right.
We're Master Blaster together.
Oh,
so
hell yeah!
We got Mad Max all up in here.
Some would also call us
Tonight.
maybe ice climbers, perhaps, where the one is.
yes.
I'm wearing the pink, though. I have to be Nana in this instance. Because if I die, it's fine. But if you die, we both die because I need you,
yeah, 'cause you can't
I need you to walk.
And Alex, you got a triumph. I know that.
Yeah, triumph and 1 success. So
Triumph and 1 success. Okay, cool. So it's going to go Alex, Susan, Jamie. And what we're going to be doing is a little skill check challenge.
my favorite.
Yeah, so we'll be able to use light side points and dark side points as per typical. And advantages will be able to give you boost die. Threats can give you a setback die. And we'll be playing by the Lord Kensington rules, which is made by one of my favorite DMs, by the way, Rodrigo Lopez from the Critical Hit podcast. Mwah. The rules are that you're able to use any skill that you want. There'll be 8 chances to either get 5 successes or a failure condition is 3 failures. So looking for 5 successes or 3 failures will end the thing. The goal of this is to get to the worthless camp with everyone alive, like everyone there. For every failure that you get, one of the people that you're with is going to get snatched.
People being red shirts extras or like named NPCs?
All the people that you have, yes, the extras.
Okay.
They're going to get snatched.
That's fine.
Okay,
It's
but
okay.
if you take the child, Ian,
If you fail, if you get 3 failures,
As she sticks her own
everyone's
child up to the camera.
yeah.
don't do it. Look at this face.
If you fail, how could I ever? So easily like this. Watch me, Jamie. If you fail, everyone is
Dead.
snatched.
Oh no.
Everyone is snatched away. So the goal is to get everyone back to the worthless camp.
Okay.
Everyone.
right.
That is the
Okay. Gotcha.
Now you like I said, you can use any skill that you have that you want to use, but if you use a skill, the next person who rolls in the initiative can't use the skill you just used.
Oh, okay.
Also, when it comes back around to your turn, you can't use that skill that you have used in your previous turn. You have to find a new skill.
Got it.
And if it comes back around to you again, then you can use a skill. So, for instance, like let's say Xelora wants to blast him. She does like a range light roll, and then Beegax goes next. Beegax can't use range light. Have to think of something else. And when it comes back around to Xelora can't use range light. She'll have to think about something else. But when it comes back around the next time, then range light's just fine. So
I see.
yeah.
That's cool. And then do we need to justify the skill that's being used too?
Yes. So how this is going to happen is with every skill that you use, you're going to narrate a piece of the action that's happening of you trying to get away. Like, and that can be absolutely anything.
Right on. I like it.
And that's how you can that's how you'll justify whatever skill that you are planning on using.
Cool. Sounds good.
Are we at the mercy of the worthless? Like, do they have a role too, or is it just PCs?
They don't have a spot in the initiative. However, if using the worthless is like part of how you want to use everything you can, like if that's what you want to do to justify some skill you want to use, like bring them into the narrative in a way. They won't roll. You'll be doing all the rolls, but
Cool.
I like it.
all right, let's do this. First to go, Beegax, you're up.
I'm not going to use... I was going to shoot at them, but I'm not going to do that because out of the three of us, I am now officially, I think, the worst shot. Because we have a real bounty hunter, we have a gunslinger, and then we have Elo is supposed to be part assassin droid, I assume, right? I forget what the class.
Yes.
What are you? You're
Mercenary soldier.
mercenary soldier, and then you are
A pilot marauder. So I'm
marauder.
melee.
Yeah, but still, your range light I think is better than my range light.
What's yours?
1 yellow, 2 green, rank 1.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I have 3
whip it
green.
out.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to use that. So
I know, but I'm just letting you know I'm not gonna take attacks because my perception is godlike because of the eyeball that Elo and I have.
That's right.
Our cybernetic eyeball. So for my turn, using the Lord Kensington rules, I would think Beegax is on Xelora's back, and Xelora is huffing it. We're all running, and Beegax is like, stop, I'm gonna throw up. And then as he's like thinking about puking, he sees this pile of rubble to the right. And depending on my perception check, if it succeeds or fails, then I'll say what happens. But I'm going to make a perception check as my skill check for this.
What are you trying to perceive?
I'm trying to perceive if there's a
for?
structural weakness in this junk pile that we're going to run by so I can maybe grab something out of it and cause some of it to collapse behind us.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is just number of successes, right? Versus the preset limit.
No, let's call this an average check. Well, let's call this an average check, but I'm gonna throw a black die because it's night. Even though you've got cybernetic eyes, like it's still nighttime.
Don't bother me, none. That's, well, no advantages. 1 advantage, 1 triumph.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's a crit, and we have to respect that crit. So a triumph is a really big deal. So yeah, I mean, I think you see exactly that. There's like a bunch of junk. It's probably like you're like running in through a tunnel or something, or some like something's overhanged it, you know, and it's like you could see with your cybernetic eyes sort of like scanning that the nav mesh of that area. If you hit it or knock it or kick it or do something, it's likely that something is going to come tumbling down from there.
That's exactly. Beegax sees, like, with the cybernetic eye, there's like not a 2x4, but like some sort of thin steel plank sticking out, a thin piece of steel sticking out. And he sees that it's basically supporting a nice chunky pile of just metal debris and refuse and like chunky garbage, essentially. And he's like, Xelora, veer to the right a little. And then I assume she moves a little bit, and he just sticks out a foot, and he goes, ha-ha, and he just kicks the steel beam out, bing, and then the garbage just collapses behind him. Obviously not doing anything like mechanically, besides just counting as a success. But I'd like to think, story-wise, maybe 1 or 2 of these lesser scavers kind of just get just absolutely crushed under the garbage.
Yeah.
And you hear the mechanical whirring of their arms as they're trying to get out because they're panicking, like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, they just get buried. Excellent. That's 1 success. It is now to Xelora.
okay. The role I would like to use is coordination.
Okay.
So
What are you
I was
doing?
looking through this, and it's like characters can use coordination to navigate the twists and turns of sewage pipes, ventilation ducts, or garbage chutes or narrow spaces. And I'm thinking, so this is like scrap ships and just a bunch of scraps. So she finds like a smaller entrance where a smaller humanoids and robots could fit in, but these scavers, which are much larger robots, would probably have a hard time following behind us. And she's going to try to like shuffle everybody through here.
Oh, okay. So like through a protected sort of area,
Like
basically.
a small area too, and then help everybody get through it.
Okay, cool. I don't know if that's coordination, because coordination is like it's like a your body based thing. So if you're trying to like guide people, but I will like if you wanted to like, since you got someone on your back, if you wanted to like juke and dive through like some narrow alleyways made of junk and stuff to like get out away from these things, then I think maybe that. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay, cool.
I just want to use this check.
People will try and follow you as best they can.
Okay.
They see that you. Yeah.
I not to interrupt, I'm getting some strong like Goonie vibes from us going through like knocking garbage and going through tunnels. Like, oh no, we gotta run from the adults. They're gonna hurt us.
So I think that normally I think this is something that Xelora would be able to do easily, but she's got another person on her back, so I think this is a hard check.
Okay. Let's go. 2 successes, 2 advantages.
Oh,
Let's go.
okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, nice. So yeah, what does that look like you getting out through these things? You're basically like Millennium Falconing through like the trenches, but with garbage on foot.
So the reason why this is probably just Xelora making this check is Beegax drew attention to us. He was the threat. They probably like, oh, he's the one who buried 2 of our friends. So now they were all they instead of like picking off everybody at the back, they're like, let's take care of this threat, and they started coming for us. So Xelora is like sees this narrow passage that's kind of covered from above and dips into it and has to kind of crouch and run at the same time because she has extra height with Beegax on her back. So she's like crouching but also hurriedly going through, and then like in the openings above them you see scavengers' arms coming through and almost grabbing.
That's cool. Yeah, they're just like pushing through the junk and like clawing, and there's just that.
It's Beegax screaming, "Oh my god! Ah! Wow!" he's making things worse. Yeah, he's making things worse for Xelora. Absolutely.
Yeah, Xelora's like, shut up. She's running.
There's hands.
Yeah, and people are able to like follow you through that pathway. Not as quick and not as nimble, but they're able to make it as you like burst out through the other side, and you can see like scrappers like coming up over the top, like finding an alternate way to continue to chase you through the scraplands. And then it is to LO.
I picture Elo sort of being in the front, towards where the other droids are, and I am going to use the ranged light because these scrappers, though they are following us, I also sort of picture them like just popping up along the path, like we're just seeing them almost in a Jurassic Park style, we're surrounded manner keep going,
Absolutely.
So as we're sort of like swerving and turning through all of these piles of garbage, Elo is going to do their best at shooting the ones in front of us and making the path clear.
Nice.
Okay, gotcha. So that's a ranged light check. So average check. You know what? I'm gonna flip a dark side point though.
All right, 2 success.
All right, that is another success. So yeah, describe like blasting some of these scrappers. What happens to them?
So Elo is going to just be like swerving left to right, shooting, trying to get these scrappers. It seems like there's just so many of them that they just keep popping up one after another. And as Elo is shooting out into basically darkness, they're going to see one of these scrappers. Oh yes, they do have their little light beam eyes. They're going to see one of these scrappers just mist away into nothing, into the darkness.
Yeah. What a stone cold killer Elo is becoming.
Turning out to be.
Yeah, you love to see it. All right, cool. That is another success. That is 3 successes. You only need 2 more. So next up is Alex.
Okay. I don't have any other skills that are that good.
Well, we've got range, light, and perception off the table.
Yeah. I can't do planetary piloting because I'm not driving a vehicle.
Unless you can make a really compelling case
No,
for
I
it.
can't. I cannot. I think one that I think might work is mechanics. So similar to what happened before, where I saw my perception allowed me to see the structural integrity of this pile being very weak. I think my mechanics is like some of the garbage we're passing by. Maybe if I can, I see like a defunct explosive or something, like it's been discharged already, but it still has some sort of electrical component left. Like maybe it's just like hanging on some of these wires from some overhangs that we're crossing underneath or that we're running by, and it's got like that in a video game, you know, like, oh, this object is interactable because it's shining, or like in the old school cartoons, it's on a different cell layer, so it's very much going to be a part of this scene. Like it's this defunct explosive, maybe a concussion grenade or something that's already gone off, but the electrical component is still there, and it can still be used as like something to cause like a not an EMP, but like almost like the little poppers like that you can buy at like the little grocery stores. You just throw them and they make the little pop. It still has some explosive component left that
bang,
will cause
some kind of bang. Yeah,
a harmless bang, but a bang nonetheless that can maybe jostle loose some more garbage, or like jostle loose in a piece of a structure, a piece of like I don't want to say destroyed structure, but like a piece of a wall, a retaining wall or something that's holding more garbage back, like another one of those oil slick on the road type tricks.
Okay, you've sold me that this thing exists, but how are you activating it?
I'm gonna try and finagle with it as I'm still on Xelora's back. Like I'm gonna try and get it to work. Like, so it'll be like,
okay.
It'll be like she's running with me on her back, and I'm piggybacked, right? So I'll have to use my feet to wrap around her waist or her back, and have to do it upside down while looking at the guys running behind us.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a hard check.
For that, if that, right?
All these
Yeah.
pretty points, though, Alex.
Ooh, I'm thinking about it. You know what? I'm gonna use a light side point and upgrade my 1 green into. I have now. That's 3 yellows then.
Buddy.
Yeah. But the hard is 3 purples, right?
3 purple, yeah.
Oh my god. You have to tell me if you're gonna upgrade a dice, Ian, or else it's entrapment. You have to tell me now.
I'll let it ride for now. Okay. I need some of these points to come back.
I know, right? You only have 1.
2 threats, and then everything else cancel each other out.
Oh, 2 threats.
I already know what it is. I know what it is.
So that is your first failure.
Yeah.
That's 3 successes, 1 failure.
Not only a failure, but a failure with an explosive device on the back of a human, on the back of a living creature.
Well, I'll give you this. Let's talk about it, because I think it could be either that Beegax fails to grab it, like picking it off, or it's a dud, right? Like he's trying to finagle it and like it doesn't work.
I could see either. I like those options better than it blowing up in my hands and injuring.
Yeah, that's not that's despair territory.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
despair
Okay,
territory.
Cool. I don't know how extreme you were gonna be on this one. So I don't know. This one seems like this is a very unusual series for us to run in this game. So I'm not sure how dangerous things are gonna get.
Oh, Well, I got to keep you on your toes somehow.
Yeah, it's working.
But you roll a couple of despairs and let's see what happens.
No, thank you. I don't want to do that.
Okay, so yeah, let's just say because it's a mechanics check, let's say that this is a dud. Like you pull it and you're like, and it just like crumbles to like glass and metal shards in your hands, and you're like, no, I thought it was good.
And I'm upside down too, trying to mess with it, and just just like get like decades old like powder and stuff just flows in my face.
Yeah, there's like a chemical cloud. There's a chemical cloud, and that's gonna affect you, Xelora, as well. Because with 2 threats, that's going to give you a black die to your next roll.
Sorry, Susan.
So, speaking of, let's go to Xelora.
My skill set isn't very conducive to running while someone's on my back.
Hey, whose is, really?
Well,
Luke Skywalker, obviously, bro.
Oh, how could
you forget? Come on.
But that was a puppet.
A Frank Oz puppet, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because my next best skills are melee, which I feel like I'd have to drop Beegax to break out the Viro Blade.
Oh, as you're doing this and this is all happening, someone falls behind. And
Because I failed.
they get pulled into the darkness. They're like, hey, wait, hey, help! And then just, you just don't hear them anymore. You don't see them, and you keep going.
Well, they're not going to get fan art made.
Yeah. Oh, that one's out.
That one's gone, whoever they were.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Jubnex Flimflam or whatever.
Okay.
about that
I don't
part.
have any great skills left, so I'm going to have to use the light side, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to use leadership. And I'm going to give an inspiring speech, hopefully.
Okay. All right.
Because seeing someone be pulled away probably is a hit to morale. And then I'm going to say something that's hopefully inspiring and make them go a little quicker.
All right. Well, what are you saying? What do you say?
Okay, as that person, help, help, and then then you just hear running, and then the bots hitting metal on metal, and then Xelora's gonna realize what happened, and then scream to the group, "Okay, listen up, you scruffy-looking nerf herders. We're in a tough situation here. The 4 of us have been tougher than this, so if you follow us, we'll make it through."
Woo. I got chills. A little bit.
Hopefully,
All
it's
right.
good.
I think that's an average check to make, because these people are looking for leadership. They want to live. But I'm gonna have you add a black die.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give you a boost side though, because you did use scruffy looking nerf herder. And that's freaking cool. And I am gonna flip a dark side point because someone was just taken. But your pool is gonna contain a red, a purple, a black, and a blue additionally to your skull.
That's the whole spectrum of the dark side dice
Yeah.
right there.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. All right.
Scruffy looking
Good.
nerf herders for the win.
Always. Excellent. So yeah, you screen this thing out. How do people respond to that? Like, how do you want them to respond?
So there's probably like, as soon as help, 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 and then like a silence, there's probably like, even though they're running, there's like a faltering of steps. Like everyone's like, oh, they're right there. And then that realization, and it's just like instant dread on everyone. And then Xelora feels that herself, and she's like, nope, not going to take this today. And he tells everybody that. And then it's just like, yeah, if we follow them, we'll make it. And then their steps pick up a little bit more. And then they're all like keeping up and almost keeping up with Elo and Beegax and Xelora.
Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, so you all like rush into a clearing almost, you know, and like you see this person get away, and everyone's sort of like taking a breath real quick, and demoralized, and like looking around for a place to basically just hide. And Xelora gives this speech, and they're peering into the darkness. Everyone like picks themselves back up, like picks up other people, or the Zabrak child like grips their little droid a little bit tighter, and you can hear the sounds in the darkness coming, but the Worthless begin to fire their blasters just like into the abyss, and everyone begins running again. Very cool. All right, that's 4 successes, 1 failure. You only need 1 more success to win this. It could all come down to Jamie.
Looking at my skills, my only other high skill would be medicine, and I don't see that being applicable here. I'm going to go with resilience, and I'm using this in the sense that we are just coming out of a fight with these guys, and now we're picking up pace because of Xelora's wonderful speech. We're all going very, very fast now. We're trying, I'm putting down my weapon, and I'm now just gonna use all of my might that I have left, my strain that I have left, which is not a lot, and just book it out of here.
Okay, so you're like digging deep, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Trying to hit that second wind, if you will.
Yeah. That famous droid second wind. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do a resilience check. I think you've been through a lot, so I want to call that a hard check. But I think that speech was so good, you should get a boost die for that. So you can have a blue die as well. Considering this may be the final roll, I am gonna flip a dark side point again.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 2 purple, 1 red, and a blue die to your resilience pool. And that is to signify, like, even as you're moving, it seems like these things are just like a wave, you know? They seem to be moving even faster.
Multiplying even.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, oh, it is not great. I know, honey. It's not. Mommy rolled really bad, huh? Well, unfortunately, I got 3 failures. This is the most failures I've ever gotten in a roll, I think, and 2 advantage, so.
Okay, 2 advantage. Yeah, you can start seeing, like, even though you've cut a hole through with your disintegrator pistol, you can start seeing, like, people, like, pop up threatening to, like, surround you again, and LOs, you know, like, you're getting like all kinds of alerts going on in your HUD, you know, you've got all this strain and everything, and now you're having to book it, so
There's too many.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, too many. And you know, the Worthless are like doing their thing, like trying to thin out the ranks, and you can just about see the Worthless camp. You know, you can see structures and lights and things like that. So there's something up there, and that's where you're heading. So it's got to be that. If you can just break away, but that is 2 failures, and you turn to say like, "There's just too many" to someone, and they're just like right out the side, just like snatched away and pulled into junk. They don't even get a chance to say anything. They're just like, boom.
Rude. I was talking to you.
So that is 4 successes and 2 failures. It's all gonna come down to this last roll. It's all gonna
Alex.
come down to this last roll.
Okay, I didn't want this.
But you did get 2 advantages, and we'll come back to that because that is gonna give you a boost die. So, Beegax, what do you do to leg it these last couple meters?
I really was hoping it wasn't going to be me.
Keep in mind that resilience is off the table and mechanics is off the table.
I can do perception again?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give your opinion on this because it's a two-parter then, right? So I want to perceive. So it's either perception or piloting planetary. I want to perceive or notice a defunct speeder, land speeder, that I know just from cursory glance with my robotic eye, it's still operational. It still has like its core, it's like whatever propellant core is still intact. And it's all it needs is a good shock or something to jumpstart it, and it's facing behind us. So I can just go straight down the path from what's chasing us and run over whatever's left behind us.
Okay.
But I don't know which one that would be.
I mean, I think you could do perception. I mean, just seeing it, yeah, you want to roll perception, but how are you activating this? Because I feel like that's what the roll should be, is how you are activating.
In my gear, I had something from a while back. Do you remember I had like the or no, I have a skill I can use probably, huh?
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah, let me check. Hold on. Or you know what? No, I'm not gonna. We're not doing that. Let's scratch that because I forgot. I am no mere dog slicer. I'm a force sensitive.
That's right.
I can move this
correct.
thing if I wanted to.
Yes.
Assuming it's a speeder with a silhouette of 0, I could definitely move.
Well, it probably isn't, but this sounds really cool. So why don't we do this? Let's start with rolling the force die.
Yeah, I know you're going to say that. It's 1, right? Not both.
Yeah, just one. Just
I
roll
always
one
mess this
force
up.
die.
Come on, we've been getting too many dark sides. We need one light side. That would be 2 dark side.
2 dark side. Okay. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so as we've established, you can use the dark side of the force. You can tap into it.
Yeah.
But it has to be from a place of anger, fear, cruelty. So I think if you want to use this, if you want to use your power, you will have to use the dark side of the force, and it will incur some conflict for you. 2 points of conflict for these 2 points of dark side, and you will have to spend a strain.
Okay, I luckily have 3 strain left, so I can spend 1 strain.
Oh, and you have to flip a light side point. That is the other.
Do we have one? Yeah, because you use one. Yeah, okay. Flipping it.
Yeah, okay. You're
Flipping
doing
it.
it?
Yeah.
Cool. So we're flipping a light side point to a dark side point. You're taking some strain. You're getting these 2 points of conflict. Because you've taken this all on, just describe what happens when you blow this up. But I need to know like the emotion that Beegax uses to like annihilate these beings.
I know exactly what you want. So Beegax, thinking he sees like, let's call it half of a speeder, right? The business half. So the engine and like maybe like a spoiler on the back is some gaudy looking. That's why it's here. That's why it's in the scrapyard. The person who owned it not only crashed the thing and cracked it in half, but was like, oh, I'll buy a new one. He sees this thing and we're running, or he's on Xelora's back, and everything slows down for a second as his mind kind of goes to work like, okay, I got to figure out if the engine's still intact. I got to use my eyeball. And before he can even process the technical side of things, I think he sees LO about to talk to that person who gets taken away. And he looks behind him because he gets distracted by that, and he sees the person just get sucked into that pile of junk. It leaves that trail of debris that flies out because of displacement, because there's now a physical thing being put in there. And he sees the look of fear in that person's face, and the fact that he couldn't move and couldn't do anything. The pit of his stomach just fills with rage. Like, why can't we stop this? Why can't we do something about this? And then the fact that he's being carried, it just adds to that pit of self-loathing and worthlessness in this moment. And he, instead of being in the pit of despair or a pit of like, woe is me, it's more of like, anger, unbridled, uncontrolled, needs to go to counseling, needs to go to anger management classes, anger that shouldn't be there in the first place. And he just sticks out his hands towards the broken half of the speeder, and remembers, I would think, getting picked on by all his older siblings and getting kicked around, like just, in some unimaginable vision of larger than life Dougs versus him, and he's just being kicked on the ground as they say these like really nasty things to him, and they're speaking Huddies and they're kicking him, and he's rolling from one to the next, wondering like, why are they doing this to me? And every kick is like a cut flash to him blinking and looking at this speeder that's coming up closer because Xelora's running, and it's like another kick, cuts back and forth until he reaches out, and Xelora just sees one of his hands that's not holding her anymore go forward, and she can feel, if there was like an energy wave of some kind, she could feel the breeze kind of blow back.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be some energy.
And he picks it up, and he doesn't even look, he just throws it, like motions his hand backwards, open palm, as if he's throwing a softball behind his head to motion that like, I'm throwing this thing behind me, not even looking at what's behind him.
Yeah, very cool. And yeah, that speeder, Xelora, you can see it's pulled out from the junk from seemingly nowhere and like goes up over your head and just flies back behind you, slamming into the ground.
Criff, and just keep running.
And the speeder like flips and hurls. We like follow it as it goes over the heads of our fearless fringers and just like lands heavily and like rolls into a bunch of these scrappers, just like knocking them down like pins until it ignites and explodes. And you can feel the force of the explosion on your back as you make your way to the camp. And for a few seconds, there's this brilliant light that fades and disappears into darkness. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crits, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, or whatever platform you use to listen. It's easy, free, helps others learn about the show, and we love reading your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or come chat with us in our official Discord. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. LO is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram and TikTok @JamieMFBones. Xelora is played by Susan Spenader, who you can find on Instagram @SuzLalouz. I'm Ian Duncan, your host and GM, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @idunks. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work. The Star Wars role-playing system is published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
Well, she looks so amazed by what's going on in here. Look at that face.
Yeah, she's taking it all in, getting ready to make her debut.
Oh, we're gonna have a new character on the show. Can't wait.
Yeah, she can play, let's see.
She can be Barney, or
She can be Barney.
Or an
That's
Ewok
cute.
we have joined
There
us.
you go. I was like, what's a good species that like barely speaks?
Ewok Jawa.
Yeah.
Ewok in space. We have to like
Wookiee?
kidnap an
Wookiee?
Ewok, a baby Wookiee.
Wookiee. Can you say Wookiee? Close enough.
Whoa. Cool. Her first word was Wookiee. Yay.